there to the top left. Mongraal rotating the top right of your screen for just a moment. 2 more players need to go down before we hit the threshold. I'm thinking at some point we're going to see a Rift to go here from Wolfies to reposition. Trying to bait out shots just like that. Clement on the rotation does not realize Wolfies is hiding inside the box. Here we go. Pulls the Rift out and pops it.
Yeah, and he makes sure he's on the backside of the circle, scouts everyone else. They're not letting anybody else on a free Rift, and also just going to pop his parachute and hang out because it's 26, boom, 25, so everyone getting the 3 points there. And now let's take a look at the rest of the lobby. Keemstar on the low ground has already double qualified. Stompy as well now on board with Mitro here as he gets taken out by Lord Rohat, and that is monstrous. Did get the 3 points for the top 25, but not going to get any more. Mix and Stompy on the low ground. Nuji's Kaizen is about to go down as all of a sudden, and now we're into the top 15. That was Mongraal. I apologize for speaking there. Stompy goes down as well. So nice little spree from Wolfies all of a sudden. Up to 6 elims. You see Martaz also still in the lobby as we get closer to the top 10. Wolfies continuing to take shots here, but not finding anything right now. Player next to him does own that, so just going to go 1 over.
Wolfie's an excellent example of timing the shot, timing the push. Doesn't have to move out too far ahead of the circle if he doesn't want to. You do get a little bit of that leeway. You have a chance to look back exactly as he's doing now and look for chances to take shots at players that are still on the move. Some shots from up above, that combat shotgun range, very effective. Basically the perfect range to scope in, ADS, take those shots, see if he can get full damage on it. Shot from above, third-party opportunity at the fish down below. Is he going to pick it up? And he does indeed, up to 41. 3 players left. Wolfies at 41 points, 7 eliminations. A big game already. Launch pad's going to kind of be useless. A jump shot around the corner. Wolfies picks up another elim. Looking at 8 right now, and he's in a 1v1 all the way up top. The player dropping in. Spoiler. Looking for any chance he can. Take an opportunity to take a shot. 25 builds. Both players sitting on about the same amount of material, so it's going to go into a heads-up 1v1 here. Someone's going to drop in on the other. Wolfies might make a climb before too long. Does have the flint knock and the launch pad if he wanted to do it. But just baiting the timing on a shot might be the most important play right now.
One thing to note, though, Spoiler has the high ground, also has 5 bandages and the campfire. If it goes to a full close, which happens in 45 seconds, he will have the advantage. But I don't think we're going to get there. Wolfies goes up with the flint knock. You can see that in the bottom right-hand corner, gets the first shot. Now has the shield advantage, but loses the HP advantage as Spoiler puts himself back on the low ground. Spoiler in the top right, Wolfies in your bottom right. You can see the action on the wide. Here's that slight elevation change that's going to force Spoiler out. He goes out in the open. Wolfie 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Spoiler running out of builds, and Wolfie with the high ground retake from that flint knock, and he throws a tomato and the L dance at him afterwards, saying, that's my victory royale.
Both players running out of materials last second, basically forced an engagement. The height advantage, I think, in my opinion, paid off the most, especially because you had a player forced out of the storm to try and go for a shot. That flint knock play to push yourself up in the air, such a versatile weapon. Well played there.
I feel like we've seen so much more flint knock this week in particular. I don't know if it's because of the slight adjustment to the shotgun drop rates compared to the last solo week, but players are opting and carrying it a lot later and using it not only as the mobility component, which we've seen a lot of, but a lot more aggressively, like people pushing into boxes with flint knocks. 100%. We saw that last victory royale with it, and really enjoy seeing the different types of utility. I know you were saying how it's probably one of the most versatile weapons. I'd argue probably second only to the heavy sniper in terms of that, just because the heavy sniper literally does everything at all points in times. But I mean, just with how good these guys are with the flint, like I could pick up a heavy sniper and get a couple elims, like that's fine. Most of the players can because it's 150 the body, but these guys make the flint knock looks just so good.
I feel like the heavy sniper is the #1 weapon for assisting other weapons and getting eliminations. Rocket into a heavy snipe, even a double heavy sniper pushing in, take a wall, push in and shotgun. The flint knock has the movement mechanic on top of it, but it can't, like you said, it can't do things that the heavy sniper can do. You can't remove a wall with it on the spot. You can't chain it into other weapons. The flint knock, though, is you catch yourself with it. Both weapons, though, are crazy.
1A, 1B. How about that? There you go.
Exactly.
But yeah, I definitely do agree with you, the heavy sniper enabling others and giving you a long-range component. But Airwalk's right there.
Top awareness. Just love to see it.
Disables Amsdalo and gets everything from it, but needs to circle back and try and get that chug and pop it like now if he wants the HP to get off of that.
So 50 and 83, not too bad. Will still go down to a heavy snipe to the body. Got to look out for that. Looking for the quick angle change here. He might rotate out into the storm if he can flip this. if needed. The player still sitting right through that corner. You see he's checking through the brick, holding the edit on his own ramp. Closes the outside out, decides to rotate down underneath. Take the chance here to just box up a little bit, opting not to push that player. You can't really tell how much HP and shield they potentially have, so if he does go out there, he doesn't see what we see. Only 100, maybe 99 HP. Gross in there, but Airwalk's probably, I mean, a player of this caliber could easily push in a 96 in the follow through, like we said. There's a pickup. Airwalk's got up to 3 now, 32 points, and a ton of builds.
Yeah, and he got the Shadow Bomb for it, which for this longer rotation is going to be huge.
Just the one, though.
Yes,
Just the one.
Just the one, and is going to pop it early. Also notice you can see that Storm Surge threshold on the right side. So what Storm Surge is, once you get into these later circles for circles 6 and 7, if there's more than 30 people left in the lobby, if you have been the passive player, Storm Surge will begin to punish you. You will start taking 10 damage every second as it comes out through. Once those strikes come on down, and now it turns off since we're below the 30 player threshold. So now just all about the elims and the rotation, since we're not even at the placement thresholds yet.
I just want to point out quick too, as you said, for passive players, Airwalk's definitely an example of not a passive player. He was 500, a little over 500 damage above the threshold, which is insane. And it's shots like that, 80 to the back on the fish on rotation, that kept him safe from Storm Surge. Crusher goes down, Airwalk picks up 4th elimination. One more elim. We get to the placement points here of the top 25. Going to pick up 3 there. Get to top 15, that's 5. Top 5, that's 7. And that Victory Royale is 10. Reminding everybody, if you're just jumping into the stream, maybe you haven't heard what the format is like, always going to kind of refresh that in your memory. All the way up on high ground, looked like that might have been Skype. I'm not sure if dropped in. I'm not seeing him. I believe that was him all the way up there. Number of players, though, 25 heading into the 8th circle soon, as advised. 1 elimination, 35 points. No movement here. Bandages for late game, but that's not going to pay off right now. That is going to pay off. Carrera goes down. Another one, the follow-through finds Ghosts on the move. Looking for the 3rd. The triple gets it. Exon down. 4 eliminations now for Advise. Playing absolutely incredibly. The heads up right now. You'll love to see it.
Oh, baby, a triple. Well done right there. And that was Skype up on the high ground. You saw him now just drop back down with a number of players going up, getting closer to that 2nd placement threshold. Skype picks up Yahtzee. Mick the Beast also in this lobby. Another player who we've seen constantly in the top 5, desperately trying to get a solo spot. Because, again, this is the last week. Kazrola does get ticked over by that storm change. Again, 60 seconds if you damage someone. Random Siphon coming through, and we're into the top 15 now with Airwalks on the mid-tarp and looking for more targets.
Imagine a situation you get a tag on someone and 50 seconds later they get eliminated by the storm. You get that siphon at just the right moment. Could be so clutch. The timing could be so important on that. 11 players left, 10 now as Sky goes down to the feed. Swaggy picks one off. 6 eliminations for Airwalks. Push through this wall, find a player on the rotation from behind, back-to-back shots, takeoffs, gets eliminated. Airwalks picks up another one.
He's doing so well at finding people on the edge of the storm, getting next to him, and then just dipping out for a second. But the one thing you notice, he never dips out into the storm for longer than enough to take more than 1 tick. It does take a second to go through, and Majestic actually just picked up a triple of his own because of those storm changes. 1 player he elim'd, 2 got ticked over from the storm. That should be the player potentially up on the high ground, but now we have our top 5. Airwalks, 2 builds left, is running with that campfire now, but is sitting on 7 elims. Advise all the way up on the high ground. Majestic was on the low ground with Mick the Beast. Airwalks in the bottom right-hand corner, gets traded out by Mick the Beast. Zedek drops down in the shadow form. He's not jumping around, so the player doesn't know where he is. 80 to the body. Can he find it? Pushes through with the combat. Says, I don't need a pickaxe. I'll just take your wall anyway. Brilliantly done there, but now can he win the 1v1 from the low ground? Player is 1 box directly above him. He hears it. You see the fake ramps out. He goes up, edit off the side, takes the high ground, drops down on top of 1, 2, 3. He gets it.
Literally waiting till the last second. The fake out on the ramp with he had 1 build left at the last second. So he was literally almost the most efficient he could possibly be with all the materials that he had left. Opts to move up a different ramp, throws the opponent off, drop in from above. Excellent high ground take, excellent push with the combat shotgun, and the Victory Royale. You love to see it.
Well done there from Zadek now. You see Marcotte and Fool right on the edge of the zone. An intense little 1 V1 right now. Trap does go down defensively. Fool saying, I'm having absolutely none of that. You can see he wants to try and get the materials that are there. Trap does get broken on the other side by Marcotte, and now you get a nice little box fight. So this is one of the things, if you want to learn how to get good at competitive Fortnite, learn to fight from a box. Blows the whistle, says it's time to go.
The whistle just signal the push.